Good morning, everyone. This morning is the Town Council regular meeting, Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021 at 8 a.m. via GoTo teleconference. We will begin with the pledge. Mr. Donovan.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Dennis.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, number two, visitors. Are there any visitors on the call that would like to be recognized at this time? Any visitors? All right, we will move on to number three, approval of the minutes for the October 20th, 2021 meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
Chris, make a motion, but with a contingent that I think the motion I made and seconded by Tim was that we recommend to the police department and the traffic commission that they approve the 1 year use of golf carts for the 3 streets named. That was my motion last.
I did approve that. I will state for the record that I did approve Mark's motion.
Okay, so you're looking for an approval of the minutes with an amendment to change the motion as it related to the golf carts to recommend that the local traffic authority approve, which Carl, can we even say that we recommend that they approve something or just review it?
I thought your intent was to recommend that they reconsider since they rejected it outright at the beginning.
Okay. So you good with that?
Well, I I did make the motion to recommend. Now, you know, how you want to modify that, you're trying to say now?
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if we can sit there and say to the traffic authority that we recommend that you approve something.
Right, they don't have to take a recommendation. They don't have to take a recommendation. They can.
Right.
They're
So
the
basically recommend that they consider a 1 year, I guess, trial on this. Is that, I mean, something like that?
I guess. Tim, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think if the wording is something like the town council recommends that you consider approving the use of the golf carts for the 3 roads, I think that's sufficient, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we have a motion on the floor then to approve it subject to that amendment. Tim, are you seconding that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Is there any other further discussion? All in favor?
All
right.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, that carries. Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, which is the appointments and reappointments. We have one individual to 2 commissions, Mark Giacona, a Republican, to the Conservation Commission until June 30th, 2022. And Mark again to the Historic District Commission until June 30th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Dennis,
Second.
Mark the second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to number 5 now, which is the pancreatic cancer proclamation. This was discussed at our previous meeting. We've gotten a notice from a citizen in town that recommended that we make a proclamation for a World Pancreatic Cancer Day. Colin put together the proclamation. It is all in our packet. Anybody have any comments or questions prior to discussing this?
I'll make a motion that we accept this proclamation. Pancreatic cancer proclamation.
Thank you, Tim. A second?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. That carries. Item number 6, council discussion on future projects. Anybody have any comments or questions at this point?
I just have a question for Carl. Is there any forward movement on the fire department project?
Where we left it off, there was discussions with Brian and Mike Neff. They were supposed to be collecting some additional information, cost estimates and the like, before we brought it back to the council for further discussion at a workshop.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, we'll then move on to 7 Chairman's report. Well, I guess first and foremost, I guess we just want to recognize again, the family of Peter Neff. Obviously, we lost Pete last week. He was a big part of our community for a long period of time, and just making sure that we keep Lynn, Michael, and Heather and her family in our prayers and thoughts. Obviously, during this time. So once again, just recognizing that and all the work that Peter's done for this community over a long period of time. Second of all, obviously, the elections last night. So we will give a very big thank you to Tim, Mark, and Eric. And thank you very much for all the work that you guys have done over the last 2 years on the council. It was a pleasure working with all of you. I think we had a great group of people here together that were able to work together and getting a lot of the stuff done that we did. So thank you all very much for all the work that you've done for the past 2 years. Greatly appreciated.
Second that completely, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, yes, it's been wonderful working with you guys. You will be missed.
You really
Yeah,
will.
we had a better first council for this town.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eric. And again, obviously the elections last night. Obviously just want to thank the town clerk, Wendy, June, and everybody that was working at the elections last night and all the work that they did all day and into the night for the election. So thank you to all of them for all the work that they did yesterday during election day. And again, we'll be welcoming 3 new members at our next meeting. So congratulations to Chris Pasante, to Tom Hollinger, and to Carrie Allen. They will be joining us at the next meeting. And we just look forward to working with them and to continuing what we've done in the past, and continue that path going forward. So looking forward to all of that. And that is it for me. We will move on to the town manager's report.
Okay, I'll give you a verbal report on what's happened since our last meeting. First and foremost is that it looks like we have our first senior program coordinator to put together our senior program as envisioned by the council. So we have come to terms with Lynn McCarthy. She will be starting later this month and getting her feet wet, trying to understand the lay of the land for senior services in Clinton as we move into providing a newer level of service that the town hasn't provided before. The Lower Connecticut River Valley Council of Governments met on October 27th. Some of the highlights from that meeting were continued conversation regarding MIRA and what's going to come out of the next 5 years with them handling solid waste. There was a sort of a vigorous discussion in terms of what options were and what other towns were looking at. The mood of the room was more people will, as we discussed, stay with MIRA for the next 5 years, just because it's not clear that there's going to be a viable option to place your waste anywhere else. Anyone who is sniffing around the edges, trying to peel off MIRA towns, is simply doing the same thing, which is taking waste and trucking it out of states to states further to the west, like Ohio. The legislative agenda that the COG puts together will be put together during this winter, and they're looking to have a meeting with state reps and senators for the COG region to take place before the session starts in January. It's a discussion on ARPA funding at the regional level. The questions revolving around legal authority to spend the dollars. I already discussed our legal authority with our town attorney. However, the COG towns are looking for some feedback from the COG's attorney, who reaffirmed the process that I outlined for you, which is treating it as if it's additional revenue to be appropriate. There's continued conversation about where regional projects can come into play. The COG still is discussing where they want to go. They have not coalesced around what they will do. We talked about the housing plan that's being put together for the region. I've given you briefings on that in prior reports. Continue to talk about where things are going to go for what the needs of the region are. And then again, once we get into the new calendar year, more of a discussion at the local level of what will be a Clinton specific strategy and approach to providing affordable housing. Again, this sort of affordable housing plan is required by state statute of every municipality to provide. Back to Mira for a moment. I did reach back out to executive director of Mira, confirming that the town would be amenable to dropping our opt-out clause. However, we have concerns about future rate stability for tip fees. I also added sort of just a general going concern as to whether Mira will be an entity in 1, 2, or 3 years out. So we want some assurance that if we agree to this and agree to stay with Mira, that Mira is going to be a going concern and an entity to work with us to take care of our waste. So more will eventually unfold as we go through the rest of this calendar year as Mira decides what tip fees will look like, what their business model is going to be, and feedback from member towns for their continued existence. As it relates to last night's election, I do have some orientation materials for the new members of the council. Those will also go out to old members of the council, just so that everyone has the same, working from the same page for how things are supposed to work. So we'll get that out. New members are seated at the next meeting. Their official term starts on Tuesday of next week, and they'll need to be sworn in with the town clerk. For Eric, Mark, and Tim, thank you for your service. Appreciated working with you. And as a town manager, you always know that tomorrow's town council member could be yesterday's town council member. So maybe we'll see you guys back. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Any questions for Carl? All right, then we will move on to Town Council Committee Liaison Reports. Does anybody have anything to report at this time? Carol?
This is not as a town liaison, because I went in strictly my own interests as a parent, grandparent, taxpayer, citizen, whatever. But I went to the Board of Education meeting the other night Monday night, because I have had concerns about everything that's been going on for the last month with the event that we're all pretty familiar with, I'm sure. And once again, I voiced my concerns. And at the end of the meeting, Erica Gelvin, the chair of the Board of Education, presented an idea to the general public. I'm sure the BOE knew about it before, but they are creating a subcommittee of Board of Education members to look into or investigate or just be there for personnel issues. Erica gave a very detailed and well thought out draft of what this subcommittee will be charged with. And I was so enthused at the end of the meeting. I think that it is a big move forward in the right direction for healing this this wound that occurred in the town. I was personally very pleased to hear this brought up and presented, and the structure. And I just want to say that it sounds terrific for all of us to have this opportunity to clear the air, have an ongoing forward moving program in place. It was very exciting, and I think we all should be aware that it's going on and that it is an excellent program for the Board of Education to adopt.
Thank you,
Not
Carol.
as liaison, just as me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Anybody else? But these last meetings are terrible, huh? Go quick, though. All right. Move on to item number 10. At this point, we'll just go into executive session to discuss real estate and personnel and invite Carl and Mary.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, thank you. All right, we're now backing out of executive session, and we will move on to item number 11, the Board of Education teachers and administrator contracts. At this point, we will look for a motion not to reject the contract. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Tim, thank you. A second?
Second.
Mark, any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Yep. All right, thank you. That passes. And then we'll move on to item number 12, which is the police captain contract. Do we have a motion to approve the police captain contract as presented?
So moved.
And a second, Mark? Any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Thank you. Motion passes. All right, we are on to number 13, which is a motion to adjourn. And before we do, thank you again, Tim, Mark, and Eric for all of your work the past 2 years. It's been great working with you guys. Thank you
Okay.
again.
Yes, to you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
for
guys.
everything.
Motion
You
to
will
adjourn.
be missed.
Tim, motion to adjourn second. All
Second.
in favor? Eric's already left. You've had enough.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Same to you, Mr. Chairman. Bye-bye.
Bye.